Hey y'all, welcome back. My name is Shamika and this is Check the Rhymes. I am super excited that you're here as always, but I am super hyped because I have been watching this show, season one, season two, part one. Whew, Tyler Perry's Beauty in Black. I don't know about y'all, but it's had me in a chokehold. So if you haven't already caught up, it's on Netflix streaming right now. Go watch it and then come back and watch this interview because in the building today, I have Bailey Tippen. She plays Sylvie on the show. So we're going to talk about her role, what we can expect. Hopefully she'll give us some tea for part two of season two. I don't know. And she's going to answer some of your fan questions. So you don't want to miss today's show. Hi, Bailey. Welcome to Check the Rhymes. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. All I know is Tyler Perry's Beauty in Black has had me in a chokehold. I got nothing done on Sunday because I was sitting in front of that TV all day watching all 8 episodes.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, what has that been like for you? Obviously, season one was like the breakout hit on Netflix, and now we've all been like waiting for season two, and now part one is out. So that raised the stakes even higher. How has that fan response been for you, like from season one to now?
Oh, wow. It's been real. It's been real. You know, as we continue with the story, we as actors we get to gain further trust with the characters and their storylines and develop them even further.
Yeah. Well, what drew you to the role? Because
Mhm.
Sylvie, whew, she's been through some stuff.
She has been through some stuff. But I guess, I saw her potential, I feel like sure she's been through some rough patches in life, but she's aspiring for something bigger, something greater, In season one, we see that she's really looking forward to seeing her sister after it being so long and really inspired by her journey and how she's done well for herself despite her struggles as well. So, I really admire that about Sylvie. She keeps an optimistic view.
How did you, and I had a lot of people, like this was a fan question as well, but how did you prepare for the role? Because Sylvie did go through a lot of traumatic stuff before she did reconnect with her sister, whether it was at her home with her mother, then being kidnapped. Sorry, y'all, spoiler. And then, and then just that overall journey of everything she's been through. How did you prepare for that?
Yeah. I mean, just having an understanding of where she's coming from, I, spoiler alert, the situations that she's been through, at her house, before we kind of get introduced to her character. Um, yeah, just doing research on these type of situations and these type of stories and how it affects someone, especially at such a young age,
Mhm.
deeply, you know. And I'm really proud of Sylvie for putting on a brave face and still going through in the world and pushing forward.
I love how Sylvie is very much like on Kimmy's neck. Like, give this man a chance. Let Horace be good to us. Like, but I don't know if you have a sibling where, and so you took from that experience or not. But dealing with a sibling that won't listen is difficult.
It is difficult. It is, but it's real. And that's why so many people can relate and they know people like this in their life. I'm sure we've all had our run-ins with someone who is just like that, They
Yeah.
they have opinions on everything. But yeah, that's the beauty of this character and that's the beauty of the art of the writing and the story.
And I love about Sylvie this season that she really was like, stop playing with me. I'm not a child. Tell me what's going on instead of y'all talking in code. What was that like for you? Was that kind of like, finally, they can stop treating her like a child?
Yeah, I feel like Sylvia is definitely she's definitely stepping into, this new power position of power right along with Kimmy. And she has questions. She needs answers. And she's looking for the truth.
hmm And one thing I know, just I've been going down the TikTok rabbit hole of everybody's reviews and thoughts of the show, and I don't know if you have done that as well, but everybody has been talking about the same scene with Sylvie wanting to go see the horses. So
Okay.
everybody, like a lot of the fans have been asking me to ask you, like, what was that like about that filming that? And then were you expecting it to be like she was trying to go for another type of horse, not the actual? I don't know how to word that politically.
Um, well, reading it, when I got the script, I was actually shocked myself. I didn't know, this was the direction we were going, but you know, we have such a professional set environment. We
Yeah.
have coordinators in place. I've gotten questions like was that real? And that's our job is to make it look real, make people, get in tune and want to know what's going to happen next. It's written perfectly for that to cause a buzz and conversation. So yeah, but it's a very professional production. We have coordinators on set who handle these type of scenes to make sure that they're executed right and that everyone is safe. So yes, that's the gist of it.
Okay. Because I know another point was that it seemed like people were saying, why didn't Sylvie just tell Rain before, without going into what happened before the next thing happened? But she was trying, but people felt like Sylvie should have spoke quicker, faster. But and I don't know if that it was a trauma response because she was kind of like frozen for a second. I
Mm.
don't know. What do you think?
That's interesting. Like freezing,
Hmm
like she's in a state of, yeah. Um, Very much so, I mean, you have to think if you were in that situation, is the first thing on your mind like, oh, let me go ahead and tell you everything that's happening, or is it, oh my gosh,
hmm
what just happened? Is this
Right.
actually happened? So I think we as actors, we just have to like live the moment.
hmm
It's different from when you're just watching it on screen. That's when we have our say so and we should do this, you should do
Right.
that. But as actors, we're not thinking like that. We're thinking as the character and how do they feel in this moment.
Very true. Because I really think this particular season we get to see so much more of Sylvie, and she becomes almost that breakout character. So I can't wait to see what happens during part two of season two. Are there any hints that you can give us for what's to come?
Your questions just might be answered in part two, so you gotta tune in.
I love it. Do you know when it's going to drop? Or I'm sure it's going to be a few months, but
The date isn't confirmed just yet, but as soon as I know, I'll let you know.
okay. And Tyler Perry is known for filming like on a quick schedule. How long did it take you guys to do this season?
It took us about 2 weeks to shoot. Yes. And I'm so amazed by this production. We shoot about like 100 pages every
Wow.
day. And for it to be pieced so beautifully
Mhm.
is astounding.
Wow. So now you also have a very versatile resume. I've seen you on Black Mafia Family, BMF. That's my show. What was it like working on that show?
Yeah, it was good. It felt like family, definitely. Um, it was such an interesting journey, and I'm very thankful for the ride.
Mhm. Now you're also a singer, a dancer, and I love that you're a DJ because that's my next thing. I want to learn how to DJ. And now you want to direct and produce. So has working with Tyler Perry inspired what types of stories you want to tell?
Absolutely. When you're working with Tyler Perry, you get inspired to want to pursue more. He's very ambitious.
Mhm.
And I mean, just to see how he's very, very, very good with his work and he knows what his vision is and what his message is. It's very inspiring. So yeah.
Okay. And I also love that you work with because I do another show that's more health related, but you work with an organization that works with folks with Down syndrome. And I think, how did you get involved in that? Like, And I don't, sorry, I don't have the thing in front of me what the name of the organization is, but can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, the Rise Awards. So,
Yes.
we were showcasing the amazing talents of, individuals with Down syndrome. I got involved from a friend who was interested in me hosting the event, and I was ecstatic because, I love acting, I love the arts, and for individuals and people to share their talents with the world is a beautiful thing. So I was all for it and excited to see what they show us.
Oh, I love that. So if you could, as we wrap up, if you could describe Sylvie's journey in one word this season on Beauty in Black, what would it be and why?
Mm. Um, a wild ride.
Okay. Okay. I think it's, you know what? You don't even have to explain why, because I think once people watch, they'll see. And when the cameras aren't rolling, what's your go-to way? Because that is she's been through a lot. So how do you decompress after such an intense shoot, especially if y'all are doing it, the 100 pages daily for 2 weeks? How do you decompress after all that?
So my favorite thing to do is like literally go to the spa. I like to go to the spa. I like to get a massage. I like to, go get my hair done. I like to get my nails done. I just try to decompress, going to the gym, just getting back into like what my world is and the
Mhm.
things that I love to do.
And any advice for those that are wanting to have a career like yours? Because I run into a lot of people that are like, I want to be an actress. I don't know where to start. What advice would you have for them?
So my advice to anybody that's starting is definitely to do your research. There's opportunities out there. You just have to find them and get classes, get an agent,
Mhm.
and to believe that you can do it.
I think that right there is the best advice. Because if you don't believe in you, who else is going to believe in you, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, thank you so much, Bailey, for coming on Check the Rhymes. Like I said, you are doing an amazing job on Beauty in Black. I can't wait to see when part two comes out. But part one of season two is already on Netflix, y'all. 8 episodes. Please go binge it. Like, just I spent the entire day. I'm telling you, did not get a thing done because I could not move.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.